pretty quickly when he was listening.
I would hope so, just for his own sanity.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the truth hurts. You got to hear it. Maybe that's why he was listening to the show. Anyway, it's not about Carson. As much as I love talking about Carson Wentz, I'm not in the mood tonight to debate Carson Wentz. Frankly, I did list him, though, 24th on my latest quarterback rankings. His fan base was not happy about that when they were sending me messages. But anyway, we'll get to that stuff a different night. Talking about the Phillies right now and Joe Girardi, and if firing him would actually do anything, I believe it would, and I believe it certainly could and would. Obviously the next person has to come in and do a good job, but I don't subscribe to the idea managers don't matter. I don't subscribe to the idea that they just sit there and do nothing. I think we've gone too far with this idea that, whatever. I mean, it's not really going to change anything. Is it going to change everything? No. I'm not saying there's going to be someone with a magic wand coming in here and fixing the farm system and making Dave Dombrowski spend money better and making Kyle Schwarber be able to move better in the outfield and Castellanos have a better arm. None of those things are going to change. But number one, the next manager can't manage the bullpen worse. I mean, that's clear. And then number two, there's an energy to this baseball team that stinks, and it's stunk for years now. And I believe that could be changed. Sometimes a spark is a good thing. Changing things for change's sake can be a good thing. If it works, great. I don't see the downside of moving on from Joe Girardi. He's not going to be here next year anyway. I mean, what are we doing? It's like we're walking the plank of a whole season. The last few weeks, it felt like September. You know how bad the Phillies Septembers have been the last couple of years? It's only May or now June, and I'm already feeling that way. Change can be good. Agree or disagree. Moving on from Girardi can make the Phillies a better team. 215-592-9494. When you call in, we need to help Tucker here. Tips for moving in with his girlfriend. What he needs to know, advice, all those kind of things for living with the woman. So we've gone over some towel ideas and Tupperware, sharing the television. Have you thought about the laundry situation?
That's tough because I don't have laundry in my house. I actually go to her house to do my laundry.
Right.
So I guess I can just do it at her own house now.
Well, that's okay. It was all right. At least you have some sort of idea what you're doing.
I've been doing my own laundry since I was 11 years old.
Oh, then you'll be good. I mean, there's some some people don't know what they're doing with the laundry, and then you do hers too, and you don't want to mess that up. Oh, I'll give you one. If you're going to do both your laundry, if you're going to help out with that, be a listener. Because I imagine most of your things, if they go in the dryer, whatever, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work that way for likely some of her things.
I'd argue like 98% of my wardrobe is cotton. Like it can go in the dryer and nothing will be an issue.
This is what I'm talking about. But you better keep a note or two, because here's the worst thing, and I've done this a lot over my time. The worst is listening, or you're kind of listening to directions about a piece of laundry, and then a month or two goes by, and you're like, was that supposed to go in the dryer? I don't remember. And then it goes in, and then you're in trouble for that.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, you got to take some sort of notes on that whole thing. Let's talk to Robert in Glen Olin. What's up, Robert?
Hey, what's up, Joe? How you doing, man?
Good, Robert. What's up, buddy?
Listen, in reality, I'm more interested in this, and I'm saying this tongue-in-cheek because this just shows you how I feel about the Phillies. They're starting to fall into the Flyers category with me, Joe, where they're becoming almost irrelevant, and I'm thinking, my gosh, what am I going to do this summer? I mean, training camp is what? I don't know, 100 days away, or I don't even know what the timetable is.
Well, we're 100 days away from the first weekend of the season, so the regular season. So we're less than 100 for training camp. We at least could start that countdown, I think.
I mean, that's where I'm at. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just, I want to see. I'm joking. I want to see Joe do a Hal McRae. You know what I mean? Just pick up some. Remember?
Of course. Or maybe a Lee Eli just curses his way out of town. Remember that whole thing?
Joe, what was it? The Braves minor league manager, the guy pretended like he picked the rosin bag like it was a grenade and he threw it. He was crawling.
Well, then there was Lloyd McClendon who stole second base and left with it. He picked it up and left.
Just let Joe take second base and just go home with it. You know what I mean? Just let him go. It's just, and again, it's his fault. I do agree, but I also agree. Closer's got to get the final out when they're up a run in the ninth inning. Or I want Schwarber to hit more than $185. He's not even hitting his weight. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. These guys got to get some responsibility too. But you know what? If it's not working, you're right, Joe. You got to do something. You have to do something. It's his last year of his deal. So they're not going to owe him a lot of money to bring somebody else in on top of paying him the rest of his salary. They got to do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't just keep status quo and pretend this thing's going to turn around. Robert, you have some advice for Tucker as he gets ready to move in with his girlfriend.
Yes. When he answered my call, I got a trio effect at the bathroom. It's a trio effect for the bathroom.
Okay.
Now, when you're a single guy, what do you tend to do with the toilet seat? You tend to leave it up. You know what I mean? Most of the time until the obvious reason you have to put it down. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's a big adjustment because obviously his girlfriend isn't going to want the toilet seat up all the time. So that's the first one. So, the second one is, you hear the joke, if it's yellow, let it know. If it's brown, sometimes you don't flush the toilet all the time if you're just, if you're not doing it. I don't know if his girlfriend might like that. And leaving the door open when you go to the bathroom. She might be okay with it. She might not be okay with it. You know what I mean?
You got to be on the same page with these type of things.
Yeah, it's important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? That's some good ones. You know what, Robert? We appreciate the phone call. A lot of bathroom advice so far on the show tonight.
Yeah, that has been a point of contention, is me leaving the toilet seat up. But I would respond with, every time I go in there and I put it up, why can't you just put it down?
Yeah, that's not...
Don't you look where you sit first?
I mean, I do. I'm not. I don't. But
I mean, this isn't a hill that's necessarily worth dying.
It's not.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think some people can be a little dramatic when it comes to this.
You know what? But I understand the point though. But you know what? Most hills are in this stuff just not worth dying. I'll give you another one. I have a lot of these over the years. I am someone, and again, I don't know what you guys might be on the same page with this, but I'm someone who doesn't mind like leaving something out if I'm going to use it again later. But that doesn't work for us. Some people like to use things, put them away. Use things, put them away. I'm like, well, I'm going to use that 6 hours from now. I'm just going to leave it right there.
Yeah, I tend to just leave things everywhere.
Yeah. You think that's going to go well?
Probably not.
Yeah, all right. So
especially because, I mean, it's not like we have a lot of space anyway. Like right now, I have, one little table. I just kind of leave things on the table, and I'll get to it eventually. Yeah. I have a feeling that's not going to go over well.
No, it probably won't. So pay attention to that. Drew's in Westchester. What's up, Drew?
Hey, Joe. This season has been frustrating, but I had low expectations. I'm surprised how high the expectations were for this team. So I've been pretty chill about it because this is kind of what I expected, really. Because this team, when you build a team like with hitters and you don't, I know they signed Zach Wheeler, but there has not been as much effort around the entirety of the pitching staff and upgrading it significantly as there has with the lineup, I feel. There's not been balance there.
Well, I agree with you, Drew. They haven't, and they've tried to piecemeal the pitching together. They've hoped on some young guys, but mostly the bullpen has been cast off, so trying to piece it together. And the starting rotation, other than Wheeler, I mean, they've really improved nothing around Aaron Nola for years. It's been Nola, obviously Wheeler, and then they've just hoped on everybody else around those two.
Right, and Joe, we know as baseball fans over the years that's not good enough. That doesn't get it done. You can't expect a team where you say, well, our number one and our number two are good to very good pitchers, so we'll be okay with the pitching. I mean, that doesn't get it done. I mean, and this team waits for Godot, for the starters to evolve and develop. Like, they waited forever with the guy they got rid of a couple of years ago, and now they're waiting forever with Zach Eflin. I mean, Zach Eflin has started 120 games for this team. We know what he is. He pitches to nearly a 4.5, 5 ERA. He's not good enough. He's not good enough. And it's just, how many years are we going to have him be a cog in this rotation? He's not good enough.
Well, it's not good, especially when you have all the other issues they have, right? If they had no other issues, you get away with maybe the pitching being the way it is. But they have other issues. The bullpen is an issue, the defense is an issue, and the offense, for as much power as they have, I think they're like 11th in the league in on base out of 15 teams. They don't get on base enough. So, Drew, I was generally with you. I thought we were overhyping them. I didn't think they were necessarily a playoff team. I didn't think 90 wins. But Drew, I did think they'd be above 500 and be in the mid 80s, 84, 85, 86. And you look up and they're trending towards, something in the 70s. They're disappointing right now for sure.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's about the personnel and the management of the team, and that's what the results on the field really do come from that. We know that, and you look at this team, and if you're gonna have mediocre pitching and mediocre to worse defense, it's not a good combination.
It's not. Drew, do you have any advice for Tucker?
Just go with the flow as far as, when she's, how the girls can be, like, just kind of play off of her, in terms of, hey, if she's in a certain mood on a given day, you got to kind of go with that, and she's not going to be as tolerant of certain things. Other days, if she's in a, so you just kind of got to go with the flow and pay attention.
I like that. Go with the flow and pay attention. True, we appreciate it. I think that's simple advice for all walks of life, but it works. Go with the flow. Just pay attention to your surroundings.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely try to be more agreeable.
Agreeable is generally a good way. I think that's living with anyone, like a roommate situation, whatever.
I think it's an adjustment for, like, I remember in college, like, moving in with my friends for the first time, and after a couple days, you go, really? This is what you're like? You're a terrible person. Are you joking? And then you get used to it, and it's a different situation. So I think it'll be an adjustment, but I agree. I think the idea of being agreeable and being open will certainly help things out.
So I got one more. Every time he's going to call, I think of a new one. What are you, the food situation? Like, you guys going to share everything? You're going to have your food?
She eats different food than I do.
Okay, well, that could help then.
She does cook. Like, if I'm ever spending time in her house, she will cook for me. She's very good at that.
Yeah, I'm just, here's what I'll put it this way. There, once in a while, you may have something, like a snack or something. Maybe like,
yeah.
And then she might want some of that. And then, like, you wake up in the morning, you think there's more of your snack than there actually is, and it's going to be gone.
Like, I love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
There you go.
I always have them at my house.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she's listening, so I don't want to say this in a negative way, but sometimes when she is over at my house, they tend to move a little bit quicker than when I'm just home alone.
Oh, you're going to be okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah, you're going to need to be. A granola.
If it's in our fridge, it's our snack.
That's exactly right. I like to have granola with breakfast sometimes, but like sometimes my house, it's not, and it's just my wife, my kids do it too. They like to snack on the granola, like not eating it for like with the meal with yogurt and breakfast or cereal, just eat it. And then I go and have, my breakfast in the morning, and half the granola bag is gone. I'm like, why else snacking on the granola? So that could
The one thing I do get a little territorial about is my milk, but I don't think she'll touch that, so we'll be okay.
Why am I not surprised? You know what? I think you'll be okay with that. Can we clip that line? The one thing I get territorial about is my milk. Ron in Montco. Let's see what he's got on the Phillies tonight. What's up, Ron? What's up?
What are you giving some marital advice?
Well, he's moving in with the girl. Tucker's moving in with the girlfriends. We're trying to help him out.
I heard. Well, the only thing I can tell is just don't be a total slob.
That might be the simplest advice we got on that.
Well, the biggie was already said. Put the toilet seat down because that'll start World War III.
Yeah, you don't want that. It's not worth it.
Yeah, that's not cool. And so anyway, let's. Oh my God, I can't believe how bad this has gotten. I can't believe this. I mean, we're talking about Girardi. Yeah, he's got to go. I think he wants to go, to be honest with you. I don't think he was ever serious when he took the job. I mean, come on. This guy's he was a baseball analyst. I mean, he wasn't disconnected from MLB. He was like Harper. He took the money.
Yeah.
He took the money, man. I mean, that's why I don't want to go Harper cry. And we let Harper GM some things here that we can't turn back the hand of time on this,
Well, especially the catcher who looks like he's falling apart. Yep.
Yeah, and he had something to do with Schwarber and Castellano. I mean, he was nodding his head, yes, but anything, get anybody in here. And that's what they did. But then Dombrowski is more culpable in this than Girardi. Joe, I mean, do you agree that he did not fix any of the problems before he started bringing things in? In other words, how do you say, talk to any woman, she wants an immaculate kitchen before she starts a 7-course meal for a family of 15.
Ron, let me throw this at you because I do agree with you on the culpability of Dombrowski. Ready? Here's this.
Total.
Here's a nugget for you. So since he got here, Dombrowski, he has signed this group of players. He's given a total of $351 million to these guys: Schwarber, Castellanos, Real Muto, Gregorius, Matt Moore, Chase Anderson, Knebel, Hand, and Familia. $351 million to that group.
Okay. So why are we not after this guy's head? I mean, this is just another debacle by the Phillies. This guy, didn't we really need a guy like this to come in and get a couple pieces in here? Did we really need it? Because what we really needed to do was get a builder, an architect in here, and come in here with a wrecking ball. And we had to see, they never wanted to bite the bullet, Joe. Way back when, they never wanted to bite the bullet. After it went Ruben Amaro, okay? And then jackpot, Middleton comes in. Then from Middleton, you get Clintek and McPhail, okay? And then the rest of it, and then you bring in this guy. They never wanted to pay the piper for what they did with the two aces and what they didn't do with the two aces, because that kicked off a multitude of problems that have cascaded and just gotten worse and worse and worse. And ultimately, Joe, I mean, I'll tell you a couple of moves that I would have done. How many center fielders have we seen bite the dust that came out of our system? You got Kaylee. Where's Verlinger? He's gone, right?
They sent him back to AAA. We'll check his stats. He's back at AAA. Yep.
Okay, and the other one, Hainsley. Hainsley's gone.
Yeah, he's with the White Sox AAA right now. Yeah.
Can't stay in the lineup, right?
Moniak can't hit pitching whenever they call him up.
He's like swinging it's just a telephone pole up there. I mean, it's just he did not go after. Why did he not package some of these problems of Dougal Herrero? Why didn't he take a look at maybe moving Hoskins? Why didn't he create a package of some kind of package? If you're going to go for it, get some of this junk off the books. Move some of the junk. If you got to get rid of 15 players to bring in 3 or 4 players, then you got to do it. If you're going to go for it, right?
Right. I mean, Ron, you're right. I mean, they've been.
Let me ask you: would you have not tried to move some things?
Yes, especially Hoskins. I mean, Ron, you and I have been talking about it for years. Here's the reality of him. In his career, has he been an above-average offensive player? Yes, but he's a losing player. Hoskins is a losing player, and they just keep running him out there every day like he's a centerpiece.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, and listen, it just goes on and on and on. And Girardi, listen, when he came in the COVID year, didn't he?
Yes.
That was his starting year, right?
Yep, 2020, yep.
Yeah, okay, so here's how I saw him. When he came in, he was basically almost the same guy as he is now. But you know what I said? I said, this guy's smart. He's stupid like a fox. I said, he knows this is a 60-game. This is basically a tournament year. It's a tournament. It's not a season. It's a 60-game. He's not going to get all bent out of shape. He's getting a freebie here. He's getting to see firsthand the players and what he's got and what he doesn't got. And he's laid back and he's just letting this thing play out. And he's going to give him hell the next year. Well, that never happens. Right, Joe?
And now we're another year in, and it's not happening.
Right. I mean, I don't see where. Listen, Joe, I'm going to tell you something. I've been telling you this. There's only one way you're going to fix this problem. Okay? There's only one way you're going to fix this problem, and that is the Philly fans, and this will happen naturally, is they got to stay out of the building. They got to stop supporting the team. They got to force a sale. You need somebody. Who was it? Who was the guy that was at Boston and then he went to Chicago? What's his name? Theo?
Theo Epstein, yeah.
I heard that he wants to buy a team.
He does, yeah. I think if they do an expansion,
could be better than that, Joe?
Yeah, well,
what could be better than that?
Oh, Ron, I mean, I would sign up for that in a heartbeat. Ron, we appreciate the phone call. I don't think Theo's buying the Phillies, though. That would surprise me. I feel like Theo Epstein, doesn't it feel like his next move after? I think there's 1 or 2 moves for Theo. He could become the commissioner of baseball. I mean, he works for baseball now, trying to change the game back. I think the way he's kind of phrased it is like bring it back to the center, because maybe they went too far as a whole with the analytics movement and the way the game has changed. But so he's doing that now. But I could see Theo either as the commissioner one day or owning a team. I mean, Ron just said it, but couldn't you see Theo Epstein taking over an expansion team at some point? Oh, maybe owning an expansion team. Like, wait, he's at.